Ain't got time to call your solar critic, no. Right outside the lazy gate of winter's summer home, wondering where the nuthatch winners wings a mile long, just to carry the bird away. Alright, now we get to the first verse. I separated the first verse from the others because it's got a little extra few measures that don't appear in the second and third verses. But other than that, they're basically the same. Alright, the chords go E major 7, A, E major 7, then it's got this B minor to A. Alright, and again, Bobby's playing a rhythmic phrase with just a few notes. And he's got this lick. And there's already a few things to talk about here. Another sort of theme that I was thinking about for this actually is, you know, Bobby has parts. I sometimes think there's a you know, a mindset out there that Bobby just, you know, was tinkering around with stuff and you know, doing those little fills and so on. And there's improvisation in what he does. It's built in to tolerate improvisation, some sections of a song more than others. But he has parts. The songs have arrangements, and even though, you know, the sound of the guitar, the tone of the guitar could change, the tempo of the song could change, even the groove could change somewhat. There's a lot of songs where they really didn't change their fundamental parts very much at all, and this is one of them where he's pretty much playing all these parts all through the years. So I know there's been some people, you know, some of the Jerry guys who've checked out some Bobby lessons, and I've gotten mail from people saying, you know, they didn't realize how much was going on with Bobby and they underestimated Bobby, etc. So this is another one where there's a set part. It's a really nice part. It's original. It really works with the song. And one last thing is, when you start to know his parts, you'll notice that it's easier to hear Bob than you thought it was. You know, that there's this thing that I can't hear Bob. Bob's parts are just subtle, and they're blended into the tune, but they're there, and once you know what they are, you tend to be able to hear them most of the time. Alright, so E major 7, we're just getting, you know, again, if you think of E major 7 here, we're just getting these two notes, and we're doing this little phrase. Now you can pick it. Sometimes if you want, you can hammer it on. You can hybrid pick it. Alright, all those are fair game. Right, where I'm picking one string with my pick and I'm using my middle finger for the B string. Okay. This is A. This is a Bobby shape that you want to be familiar with. Just two notes. The root on top, A at the 14th fret. The major third on the bottom. I'm doing a little sus. We've seen this all over his E shape. He'll use this lick quite a bit. So we've got. Alright, now we get to a lick that we're also going to need on the chorus in a different key, and it goes like this. Now I'm palm muting here. If I don't, it doesn't get that nice plucky sound. So I'm just resting the heel of my hand. I'm not pressing down, but I'm just resting it on the strings to get a nice pizzicato kind of a effect. Starting on E, Now this one you can slide it, you can hammer it on, you can pick them all. There's some variation there. I think I tend to hammer on. So, just an E major. That's your major 7 right there. Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it's not too bad. I major 7 right there. There's E. Half step down. Now on this, you know, the total phrase that you hear with the band is like that. But a lot of times if you listen to Bob's guitar, you'll hear just with the other instruments kind of filling in that in between. Bob. And I kind of like that sound, so sometimes you'll hear him do more of the whole thing. But I like that effect of just really accenting. Repeat, A, lick, okay. Now this next section we get to where he's doing like his bass line. The chord goes to A, and Bobby goes, there we go. And it's kind of how he builds a theme where everything kind of works together. Okay, that's the A chord, A major pentatonic here. This kind of is a Bobbyism too. C sharp minor is the next chord. There's going to be a slide in a minute where he does this. It seems like he should do it, and I tried to find him doing it, but he doesn't seem to do it on this C sharp. It seems like it should be like that. And he could do it, and it would be so fast you couldn't tell. But I just couldn't ever detect it. I hear... So, I don't know. If you want to put a slide in there, but you can't really hear it. So C sharp minor, if you think of C sharp minor on the 9th fret here, root, minor 3rd, root. And then the same lick like you did on the A. A, C sharp minor, B, okay, and he's on B. Now he plays this like that. It seems like you could go, you got your A right here, but he's going down there. Why? I don't know. I think you can make a case that the A on the 5th string sounds a little different. They definitely have a slightly different sound to them. A, C sharp minor. I'm kind of palm muting a little bit here too. Not all the time. So that's palm muted. But then some of them jump out. That's not palm muted. Okay. Now, on the 2nd and 3rd verse, it's going to go right to E there. But on the 1st verse, it's got some extra stuff. It goes back to C sharp minor, wondering where the nuthatch thatch winters. Okay, and here he does slide into the C sharp minor. So he goes, he's on A. Now it's going back to C sharp minor. And you can kind of go like from A, and it's really exaggerated. There's no mistake in that one. Back to B, and he's got this little, okay, hammer on, half step, bend and release. This is leading up to the next chord, which is D. Wings a mile long, seen this kind of lick from Bobby where he goes, he likes that kind of deal. Just going like that. And you can use different fingers. Probably makes more sense to go like this. But I'm in the habit of using these fingers and then stretching, so if you can do it this way, because then it leads you right to your A. Okay, then we get E, and A, and E. Okay, it's not major 7 there. Sometimes you might hear him play major 7, but Jerry's playing E, and Bobby will play an E, and you'll hear that E instead of E major 7. You'll hear that E. Gives it kind of a sense of finality as we lead into the chorus. Alright? So that whole section, A, C sharp minor, B, A. First verse goes back with a slide to C sharp minor, B, little lick, D, A, E, A, E. Then we're going to have A to C. Same ideas apply there as we did with the B minor and the A. So whole entire thing here. E major 7, A, lick, B minor, A, repeat, E major 7, A, lick, B minor, A, C sharp minor, B, A. Okay, if it's the first verse, we go back to C sharp minor, B, D. There, I see I used the right fingers. This kind of just leads you to the A, and then E. If it's second or third verse, it's going to go A, C sharp minor, B, A, and then right to E. I did this thing in the demo where I go like kind of harp like. You hear him do that sometimes, sounds kind of nice. A, C. So that's Bobby's part on the verse.